All right, so we're going to be breaking down a period from a scrim that my esports team was playing in. Here we're going to take a look at the third period against the LGHL Canucks. We take a look mainly at Blue. He's the one calling for the breakdown. So this is me. We're going to be breaking down also my gameplay as well. These are NHL players that we're playing against. So we'll take a look exactly how our team has been doing so far with some of the games that we've been playing in. So yeah, we're up 2-0 in this game. So obviously the other team's going to have to make a push. The way that we play is typically from a forechecking standpoint. We don't trap too much. So able to quickly get the puck across there. Had Blue able to drive in for a shot. So it was a good chance there. And I go in for a hit. So man-to-man, we have the back check in place until I get back into the frame. Now we can go back to our original spots. Bring it back to the point. Trying to close off the angle there. And we almost got screwed up there. But so typically they work it back to the point, right? You would want Blue to be playing that. But it's a matter of where he was, right? So he went on the back check. Blue came in from this area to then go back. If he goes for a hit here, it probably would be best to try to work his way back to the point. He doesn't really have a whole lot of time to do so. So when he does get the puck, he's then obviously going to be pushing that. They work a play to the opposite defenseman. This is where we're in a good spot. It's just we don't want these guys to walk free. They kind of don't, but we would say Teal probably should have stayed here. I'm seeing this guy here. I see this guy is going to get the puck. So then I break off my guy to then go for the pocheck because I knew that guy was going to get the puck. There's a 1T that gets blocked. We'll try to quickly send it up. They're going to be forechecking us. So as quick as we can to try to get that puck up to somebody with time and space. So now we're pressing. And then even I going for the hit as well. The only reason I went for this hit here is because I do recognize that the center that I'm technically man marking at the time is not even going up. Like there's nobody else. So I'm going to go in for this hit if I have if I felt like I was going to be able to get that puck, and I did. That's what the forecheck kind of allows, right? It temporarily stops pressure because now these forwards are not able to go up very quickly, right? Especially if it's not timed right. A lot of teams that trap, they're all the way back here. And then it just allows them to just skate up very quickly as one. When you cut that timing off from the forecheck, it doesn't even have to be a very strong forecheck. It could just be getting in their way, and that's all you do. You don't even have to go for the puck necessarily. If you are a winger or somebody who is forechecking, the center could also do it as well. But in this case, right, you got both them guys going up. Yes, they miss, right? But you got like it's like a half pressure, right? So you had Blue go in fully for it, which he can do that. Because his man technically is a defenseman on the opposite side, which is not even in play. So he goes in fully if he was going to get it or not. Let's say he did get it, they would have had an opportunity. Ty Green, he went in sort of halfway. So he went in to try to pressure, and then he was going to pull back away because he didn't think he had an angle for the hit. Then I then step in. So now it's like a switch play almost. It's like he dishes the pressure off to me, and then he was going to cover my area. So we did like a little switch, and then I went in full speed. I had a better angle on that before they hit the second time around. So that was how that forecheck works. It's just a matter of, right, they get the puck still there. They almost got to play off it. How did that go into a play for them? So we couldn't get the puck, unfortunately. The defenseman that Blue, I guess, would have been on, you know, he tripped over me, so he couldn't exactly cover him. They tried to work a quick play down low, then back to the middle, and then T was able to get that. So now we're in our own controlled breakout, which we are able to get in. I'm going to go down low. Blue was just kind of tied up. That's just unfortunate there. There really wasn't much you could do unless he made this pass like last second, either there or around the boards. Kind of tough. So he gets hit. Nobody can get this puck, so we're fighting for it. I was able to somehow battle for it. I saw Blue and go down low, and this is a nice backdoor feed. Almost got it. I mean, but that was actually a fortunate bounce for us. Up 2-0. We're still deciding the pressure. So it's kind of risky, but also not at the same time if the forecheck is done properly, which we get the forecheck here. I mean, obviously we're on the power play, so we can still definitely do that. Here we got some pressure that could open up, works it back to the point. So creative offense here from the perimeter, try to create time and space. Work a little switch. Try to find a cut from Teal. I try to work down low. They work it in front. So maybe there's a few things that could be cleaned up in terms of certain set plays. Because I know this one here, he had Teal sort of go to the middle. Then I think he maybe pulled up at the last second. and maybe that was the type of play they was looking for. I don't really know where I'm going as well, because I'm kind of was in the slot, and then I think I was just trying to play down low for him. Unless, yeah, I think I tried to just play down low in case he wanted to work it down low. It could have been like a play here for like a little cut that way as well. It's essentially the same idea. He works this way, Teal then switches for him, then he's gonna cut to the middle, maybe find that there, right? And that would have been a nice little play. I think Teal did pull up at the last second. He also was confronted by a player. Bounces her away, try to work it back to the middle. Defenseman is there. So quick transition. They're no longer on the PK. The guy came out of the box, and he's somehow able to tuck it home. That's kind of unfortunate, because again, as a defenseman, I mean, how much time was left? 5 seconds? This is kind of risky to have those kind of plays. I mean, I don't really even agree with having... Especially, I didn't really see how much time there was. Only 2 seconds left. It would probably be in the best interest of defensemen to just stay to the point. There's not really too many situations where a switch play would even really need to be necessary, especially on the power play. I can see maybe 5-on-5, but in this case here, we got to be very careful. I don't know if they just didn't see. Teal should be working it back. He's got to have eyes on the back as well, because the power play is done. I don't know if we just didn't see that the power play was no longer there. We're still like playing offense like it is offense, right? We lose the puck. This guy's gone. He could have just stayed. Yeah, I think Teal was probably just low stamina, and we just didn't have yellow back in time. That's just the issue there, right? You're engaged in the offensive play. And as defensemen, you kind of do... There's some teams where defensemen do control some portion of the offense, especially on breakouts, but even in the offensive zone, sometimes they'll work it back to them. So they have that sort of offensive mindset. If you have the lead, I mean, there does need to be that extra bit of defense there. I don't really know too much in terms of what we could be doing offensively, just based on what I've seen, unless we move the puck up quicker, or we change the pace, or we have better cuts. Here we kind of like pulled away from our forecheck a little bit. So here it's either he goes for it or he tries to get back quickly. He kind of just stayed to the middle. And I don't know if he was trying to just play the lane to the guy to the middle. That could have been maybe what the play was. Yeah, I think, okay, maybe that's what he was doing. Because I am beat here. So I don't know if he was just trying to play the lane. And then he works at this guy. So it becomes a little, you know, it's still manageable. Teal should be there for that, if he were to work it to the middle. And then we're here. So we're in a good spot. I mean, they get in, but it's fine. And then we're able to, okay, then he throws it to somebody. Or throws it right to Blue, who is able to get it. He tried to find a cut play. So now we can work it up. So yeah, there's definitely going to be forechecking. So taking our time, finding the lane. There's a 1T there. I don't really see wingers crossing like the vertical line, if that makes sense. Like, this is kind of how I see it, right? So you're here. There's not really too many cases where a defenseman would go to this side, right? Unless there was like a certain play where he's trying to play to like the center or something, and the center's crossing here, and that makes sense for like defenseman. You know, if the play was further like in the neutral zone for a defenseman to cross. I kind of see that same way for wingers too. Like, in certain situations, like kind of like this, it doesn't really seem to make much sense for Blue to be this guy, unless he wants to be the designated forechecker, right? At least for us, right? We kind of have this thing where Blue goes in fully for the hit, and then we have Green kind of play halfway. He kind of just takes like the next guy, I guess. Like if I was stocked up here or something, and you had you know, Blue going from the hit here across the ice, they go work it easy DDD pass, and then they have a lane this way. What makes the forecheck so effective is that like he's pressuring, so like regardless of how it looks, he's pressuring, and he didn't even have to apply any pressure before the guy got rid of the puck. Unless his intent was to make that pass across to the opposite winger for some reason, like an icon pass. From a forechecking standpoint, him being on that guy, it kind of makes sense. I just feel like for us, we don't really have much of an aggression from Green. We have it more from Blue, which I guess is fine, because the forecheck isn't necessarily like, there's not really an exact science to it. It's just a matter of like who wants to be the designated forechecker. Whoever is the main forechecker would have to, you know, be on the puck here. Then the second guy depending on if it's a 2-3 or like a 1-1-3 or something like that. I'm not even sure. Like, we have 3 guys back and 1 guy's the main forechecker, then the other guy plays like halfway. So now we're on the PK. I'm not even sure what we did there, but we get it. We almost got a short-handed goal, and we got it, actually. I mean, so I'm cutting down low. It works it to me. I mean, this other team, I don't know, defensively, they're not all that great. Certain times, I think if we move the puck quick, I mean, we've been creating a lot of chances from it. So usually on the PK, usually there's not going to be much of a reason to like push so much. We kind of have blue going across the ice here. Based on how I see like PK, like neutral zone trap, it's usually like, all right, wingers there, boards, and then we have a defenseman here, center, things like that. So the job of the winger is to stop the outside play, right? So he kind of forces the play back inside to the defense and center. At least that's the idea of what a trap is supposed to be like. But in PK, I kind of see it more as man-to-man coverage. So whoever's outside leverage, whoever's playing to the, basically to the boards, plays to that man-to-man. And then the 2 inside guys will just take the lane itself. At least that's kind of how I see it. It would have to be he skates it, and then you could break off last second to then play that guy. That's kind of how I see it. As long as the man-to-man coverage is done properly, you eliminate a lot of space from that. Blue's sort of playing as like the primary forechecker. So he's like, he's not even, it's like it has no like regard to his position. It's more or less he's just going to go and force his play. If the puck were to go here, he'd be doing the same thing. If he goes this way, he does the same thing. Again, it kind of plays to what we were kind of mentioning before. When it comes to PK, I don't really think it's necessary because it kind of eliminates him briefly when the puck does go in. Now we don't have somebody to the middle. I actually misplayed it because I was technically middle, then I overextended here. Green had to make a judgment call whether he wanted to go for this guy or stick with the guy cutting down the middle. He goes in for the guy. It leaves this guy open, and technically that's a misplay from me. It leaves the guy open. He makes that cut play. They didn't get a shot off, fortunately, but it was still a chance for them. A better team probably would have had a better opportunity for that. It's not much. I just don't know if it's in our best interest to have that type of forecheck where we have blue sort of dictating the terms of him being like the primary guy. I guess it could work. It's just, it puts us in a weird spot if they were to go. I mean, not really, though. In terms of spacing, right? Like in terms of who takes what from that point. Green never really crosses to the right side. Ever, at least that, not really. When the puck's to the left, you have both the wingers on that same side. When the puck goes to the right, you kind of have green more to the middle while blue's pressing. If I was to do it, I don't necessarily think I would cross the vertical line so much if I'm blue, right? I guess you would expect green to sort of press more on the left side if the puck's there, and then have blue sort of play that middle guy if you wanted to have that. But based on it, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. As long as, again, we're man-marking who we need to in the back. That's kind of like the main thing. Is the forecheck works. They're getting in their way. They're getting the puck. It's just a matter of, all right, are we in the proper spot in the back, center, defense, and then what are green guys doing as well? So that's kind of what the look is. I think the chemistry's getting there for our esports team as we're looking to play in the next event come next month. Right, so it's getting there pretty quick. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts. So if you want to send me clips or send me a VOD for me to break down a period of your choosing, any position besides goalie, the first link down below is a community Discord. There's a clips and VODs channel where you can send me a link to your live stream and I can break down a period of your choosing. So hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.